This is an absolute steal for the St. Louis Blues as Doug Armstrong has made a perfect signing, extending a key veteran to a multi-year extension. But not only that, one prospect shined out in tonight's game as the St. Louis Blues head into camp having even more decisions to make. We're going to break down all this and so much more later on this episode. Before we get into that, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone watching. We're trying to reach our goal of 4,500 subscribers. So if you're enjoying the daily updates from all around the St. Louis Blues, make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. Helps out a bunch, and in return, we'll give you daily updates from all around the team. But with that, dears, just before we get into everything, I do want to go out and say, listen, I know we did a video saying that Doug Armstrong was sticking with the Blues as the president of hockey ops. We understand. We knew this came out last year when Steen was set to take over, but we just wanted to go out because we seen Stillman come out and made sure that everyone knew that it was still going ahead. So listen, we understand. We just wanted to let everyone know that either forgot or in general didn't know yet. So that's the whole thing with earlier's video. But let's get straight into this today, where we did see an absolute steal of a signing today. Middle of the game, Cam Fowler on the bench, and he agreed to terms on a 3-year extension with the St. Louis Blues. Now, Cam Fowler coming over was a godsend. We've seen him join this team and absolutely lit it up, putting up 10 points in the playoffs. So what is your thoughts on Cam Fowler? And we're going to get into the AAV in a second, but what is your overall thoughts on 3 more seasons after this year with Cam Fowler?
Yeah, this is great news. And, signing this in the middle of the game was something that I was not expecting. And I didn't expect him to sign actually yet at all. Before the season started, we did a video on this a little while ago, I think a week and a half ago, talking about Cam Fowler. Listen, he needs a contract at this point. And do you let it go into next offseason? We were already starting to talk about it. And we were kind of talking about how all the rumors were kind of lending towards they want to kind of see how the season plays out. Because yes, the end of last season went well, and we're all expecting the Blues to make the playoffs this year. But see how it plays out and then offer him a contract that is fair based on his play. Well, that's not the case. They signed him before the season starts, get him locked up, and it's to really, really good value. We'll get into the AAV in a second and how much term, of course, 3-year deal, but how that affects the Blues. But this is a really, really good contract for the Blues. But again, it coming down before the season started, and not only that, in the middle of a game, is something I did not expect.
And I mean, them getting active in signing Cam Fowler is awesome to see, in the contract coming in smaller than its previous one with Anaheim Ducks of 6.1 AAV for 3 years. Now, signing him to this, a lot of people might say, hey, Cam Fowler is going to be 37 at the end of this deal. But the big thing is the cap is jumping up almost 10 million a season. So 3 years into this contract, the deal is going to look even better. I mean, Darius, looking at the deal, getting a smaller AAV, coming in after such a breakout season, once again with the St. Louis Blues. Last year, the 10 points in the playoffs was outstanding. What is your thoughts on just the fact that 6.1 is going to look even better when he finally gets into the first year of that contract?
Yeah, this is a great value contract. He's making less. I think we were all expecting that he was going to get not a significant raise, but make more money with the salary cap going up. And again, you can look at the term of the contract and go, oh man, that looks tough. He's going to be 37, like you mentioned, when the contract's up. But think about it. He's going to be 37, but Broberg's going to take over his role with the team at that point. You might have a guy like Theo Lindstein at that point in the lineup that we've been talking about. Tyler Tucker's there, right? Like all of these guys, and we don't know what's going to happen with Colton Parayko, but they went out and traded for Mayu, right? 3 years from now, yes, he's going to be older, but he's going to have a different role on this team. So this is brilliant work. And like you mentioned, 6.1 in 3 years is not going to look like that much. It's going to look like you're maybe a $3 million player right now, because the cap is going up $10 million or roughly $10 million every summer. So this is tidy work. I was totally expecting a little bit of a raise, nothing crazy. Wasn't expecting to make 8 or 9 million or anything like that, but I thought he was going to be making more per year on a shorter contract until he was 36 or 37, maybe even 38, but it's shorter than that. It's only 3 years, and 6.1 million is great value for this player. That's going to offer great value this year, probably next year. And then even the third year, if he is slowing down by the time he's 37, he's going to have a different role with this team anyway. Broberg will be that guy sooner rather than later. And then, like I mentioned, Theo Lindstein, a couple other guys are going to be coming up through the ranks as well, because they're so deep. This team and the organization is so deep. So this is a great value contract. This team is sticking together. And what was a big question mark heading into this season, what we thought was only going to be, dealt with mid-season or after the season, has been dealt with in pretty short order. And I think all Blues fans are feeling pretty good about it.
And I mean, the big thing is just looking at the contracts they have for the next couple of seasons. Yes, you need to sign Broberg. Yes, Mayu needs a contract after that. But you're going to have most of your guys locked up for the next 2 seasons. They're going to move on from Justin Falk at some point. Krug may never return after having the surgery, and it seems like it's a career ending. The big thing is they're going to have more money. If you move out Falk and Krug, you're still paying less to keep someone like Fowler on the team. So I think this contract, it's even bigger than some people look at. You're getting him after an incredible season, getting a resurgence on his career just to sign for less. The St. Louis Blues are building something special on their back end with their forwards, but it goes even farther when you're looking at the prospects. Now, you touched on Lindsay, and Juracek's going to be a guy that steps up, but we've seen Dvorsky once again score. And listen, they did lose this game. We're not going to break down the full thing, but seeing Dvorsky fight his way into the lineup is outstanding. Now, Carbonneau has played in every preseason game. We know Dvorsky is on the outside looking in with Carbonneau maybe being a tiny bit ahead, but I think there's a real chance that Dvorsky is on this team at the end of the season, midway through, to start one of them. But what is your thoughts, Darius, on just his development and how he's making it tough for management and Jim to go out and say, hey, you're going to have to go back to the A?
I think, like you said, Carbonneau is ahead by a very slim margin, and it's only in the immediate because of that 9 games he can play before being sent back to junior. Long term, if you're looking at like March, I think Dvorsky is right there. He's the next man up, right? And he showed it again tonight. Like, that shot was unbelievable. And in, kind of through traffic as well, like, he got that shot off in a tough situation. He has to work on his skating a little bit more, just from what I've seen as well. But I don't think that would, take him out of the running of making the NHL. That's something that you can always work on. But some of his other skills are translating very well to the pro game. And again, he looks pretty good. I think he's making the decision very hard. I think, there's still a lot of time left in a couple games before the regular season starts, where they're going to put him in more games, different situations, see where he's at in practice, different line combinations. And maybe he does end up making this team. I think it's more likely than not that he won't make the team at this point in time because of all the veteran signings that they made and that they want to bolster this team to win now, which makes sense. But I think he's making the decision very difficult because he is playing really, really well. So again, long term, I think he's the next man up, that's for sure. But again, in terms of, who might make the team, or if you're looking at a list in the immediate, I think Carbonneau is probably number one because you can have him up, no waiver exemption, all of that stuff, or you wouldn't even have to worry about that. He would just be sent back to junior, or he stays with the team. But I think Dvorsky would be the next guy up in, if you need a guy in December, January, March, whatever it is, he would be the next man up.
And I think the big thing is there's so many prospects coming through the system. I mean, we've seen someone assist on this tonight, and the Slovakia connection was awesome. Seeing both these guys come through the AHL system when they do play this year is going to be awesome of Blues fans. What is your thoughts on this? What is your thoughts on the Cam Fowler agreeing to terms with Doug Armstrong to be with the St. Louis Blues for the next 3 seasons? What is your thoughts on these young kids making the push? Let us know down in the comments. And speaking of comments, let's go straight in the comments today, where we do get a big one, just speaking on Doug Armstrong, how much he's done for this team, building a championship roster, what he's done for the players. Pause and read through. It's an amazing comment, but what is your guys' thoughts on Doug Armstrong as a whole? Do you think he's going to go down as one of the top GMs in the history of the NHL? Because he's really leading his way into that after 16 seasons in the NHL, and that doesn't even count the future Stanley Cups that he might hoist with his team. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back in another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and take care, Blues fans.